array, right? It's an array of characters. It's an array of characters which terminates with a special character. What is that character called?
Null character.
The null character. The null character is the \0 character, right? So that is the definition of a string in C. An array of characters which ends with the \0, right? It ends with the \0 or the null character. Then we moved on to, we saw how to actually manipulate strings by writing simple programs like finding the length of the string, copying one string to another, right? Finding whether a string is a palindrome or not, right? These simple programs we did. After that, we talked about string library functions. We started with a discussion on string library functions. So which functions did we discuss? Do you recollect? Which string library functions? Anyone? Don't recollect?
strcpy,
STR.
strcpy. That is used for,
copying string from source to destination.
yes. So which is the first argument, destination or the source?
Destination.
Destination.
Yeah. And what is a variant of strcpy that we saw? What is a sister function, I can say? Very similar to strcpy. What is that? str?
NCPY.
Yes,
str.
ncpy. What is the difference between the two? First difference is in the number of arguments, right? What is the number of arguments that strcpy takes? It is 2, destination and source. What about strncpy?
We can specify size.
Yes. So how many arguments are there?
3.
3 arguments. The starting point from where you, so you can copy a substring, right? Using ncpy, you can copy a substring from the source string to the destination string, right? So that is a difference. Okay. Moving on with this discussion, we will see a few more functions, after which we will solve a few programs or problems based on string manipulation. Okay. So the next function is for concatenation, that is strcat and strncat. So these two functions, basically what do? They concatenate strings. So what is the meaning of concatenation?
Joining.
Merge the two strings.
Yes, merge. So one after the other, right? You append the second string to the first string. That is what you do.
Ma'am, your screen sharing has stopped.
Yeah. So in this example, now you can see the screen. In this example,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
in this example, f1 is a string, f1, f2, and last. These are 3 strings, okay, which are there. And if you use strcat f1 with last, that is concatenation, string concat, then you will get what should be the resultant?
John Kennedy.
John Kennedy. And when you're using strncat in the second example that is there, we are concatenating f2 with last. Okay, but how many characters we are taking, that we are specifying in the third argument. Okay, so strncat, it takes the first string, the second string, and from the second string, how many characters are concatenated. Okay, so this strcat, usually strcat that we use, it is used when you are going to concatenate strings, but definitely one program I'm going to solve, but I'll be solving it next time, because the programs that we have for the lab session do not require strcat as of now. So in the next week, that the lecture that I take, I'll be doing one whole example on strcat and strncat. So don't worry, we'll revisit it with a proper example where we'll be using it. Okay, so I'll revisit this, but just to know the functions, I'm telling you the functions. Okay, next is the string length. The string length function is a very common function which is used by many programs, because you, in most of the programs, you need to find the length of the string. Okay, so for that, the function is strlen, string length. Okay, so to find the string length, strlen, and the argument that it takes is the string itself. So it will tell you what is the length of the string directly. So the function that you wrote actually was for computing the length of the string. That is this function which is already there in the string.h library. This function provides that functionality. That is it counts the number of characters in the string. Okay, and it will give you the length of the string in terms of the number of characters. It will not count the null character. Okay, so what will be the length of this string? If the string is hello, what will be the length of the string? It will be 5. It will give you the number of characters excluding null. Okay, that is what you did last time also. If you remember the program that we wrote a while loop and it terminated at the null character. So we do not count the null character. Okay, so similarly, this string length function also does not count the null character. It simply returns the number of characters of the string. Okay, so this is one example where we are passing how many characters. So 5 minus string length of destination, you're going to copy. So this is about string length. Next is string compare, for comparing two strings. So you can also compare two strings directly using one library function, that is strcmp. So in strcmp, what happens is there are two arguments. It will actually compare the two strings character by character depending on the ASCII value. Okay, so like if you want to alphabetically arrange the strings, you know how to sort numbers, but for sorting strings you will have to compare the strings alphabetically, right? Looking at the ASCII value. So how will you do it? Using string compare. So string compare will compare two strings and it returns three types of values. Either string is less than, string is greater than, or string is equal to. So string 1 is less than string 2, string 1 is greater than string 2, or string 1 is equal to string 2. So how does it work? So if you're passing these two strings, thrill and throw, to str compare, strcmp, it is going to compare it character by character. So first character there's a match, second character there's a match, third character there's a match, right? At the fourth character, the characters differ. So I and O, they differ. So now it will see whether I is having an ASCII value less than O or not. Depending on that, it will return some value or not. Okay, so actually strcmp is going to return a value, and the value is 0, +1, or -1. Okay, so it will return 0 when both the strings are same. Okay, so suppose I had only thrill and thrill. Do I have some example? Okay, if I have only thrill and thrill, then in that case both the strings are same. Okay, so then in that case string compare is going to return 0. This function string compare is going to return a value of 0. If there's a difference, it will see. So in this case, tell me whether I is having ASCII value less than O, or it's the other way around. It's written there. I comes before O, right? So I's ASCII value is less than O, ASCII value of O. So that means this function is going to return +1. The function returns, it returns a -1. Okay, and if So I'll jump to this table. So if string 1 is less than string 2, then it returns a negative value. So usually this value is in most of the compilers it is -1 if string 1 is less than string 2. If string 1 is equal to string 2, it will return 0, and if string 1 is greater than string 2, then it will return a +1. Okay, so if you try these two, you will get, if you write this as a program, you will get the answer, whether it is what is the value, exact value on your compiler. It is compiler dependent. It's written, that is why it's written negative, positive, and 0. So some compilers, they find out the difference in the ASCII values of the characters and they return as in the negative number. Like for example, in this case, E and I. What is the ASCII value of E? ASCII value of A is 97, small a, right? So what is the ASCII value of E? ASCII value of E.
101.
104.
101. Okay, what is the ASCII value of I?
105.
105.
105.
105. FGHI, right? So 105. So in this case, what happens? This condition becomes true, right? 105 is less than 101 is less than 105, right? So this will return, that means string 1, which is hello, should come alphabetically before the string 2. Okay, so this, in this case, string compare is going to return a negative number. It is implementation dependent, it is compiler dependent. So in most of the compilers, it simply returns a -1, you will see. But in some compilers, some other compiler, it could return something like a difference between these. It is -4, na? 101 minus 105, it is -4, or something like that. Okay, so nevertheless, it returns a negative value because hello is less than hi. Are you getting why hello is less than hi? Because of the ASCII values. Okay, so hello will come first. If you are going to arrange it alphabetically, hello will come first, then hi will come. Okay. If you're comparing the strings and if they're same, then in that case it will return 0 because all the comparisons will match. So in that case, strcmp is going to return a 0. Okay, and if you reverse the order, that means if you pass string 1 as hi and string 2 as hello, then in that case what will happen? It will return a positive number. No, the order has changed, positive number. So usually in most of the compilers that we have now, it is +1, -1, and 0. These are the three values which are returned. Okay, now what is the usefulness of string compare? It's very, very useful because many times while you are working with strings, you need to make a kind of a comparison, right? You need to check whether this string is the same. I'm searching for some string. Okay, I have a sentence and I'm searching whether this word is present in that string or not, in that sentence or not. I have a sentence. This is C programming string lecture. Okay, I'm searching for the word string. I want to find whether that string word is there in the sentence or no, right? So in that case, I can pick up words from the string. I can separate the string. I can split that entire string. So this is, right? This is string lecture in IPL. Okay. So I want to search for the word string. So what do? I just tokenize this. I just split this up into words and I check whether my word that I'm looking for, it is present or not in this string, right? How do I do that? I make use of string compare. Okay, string compare only this part of the string with this. I mean, first you will compare this part, right? You will compare this with string, then you will compare is with string, then you will compare string with string, and then you will say, okay, yes, I found string. Okay, and you will keep on continuing. So suppose you're going to search for something else, like I want to search for a word called word. Is word present in this string? Is this word present? No. So finally you will compare all the words and you will say, no, it is not found, right? It's like a search. Many times you want to perform this kind of a search on a string. So in that case, string compare is useful. Where else can it be useful? You have your names, right? I have a list of names of this class, of FEIT or FE electronics, and I want to sort the names according to alphabetical order. Okay. So in that case, I can make use of string compare. So for sorting also, I make use of string compare. In case of sorting, if I want to sort it alphabetically, what will I use? I will say which condition less than greater than equal to which condition will I use?
Less than.
You have done sorting, selection sort kiya hai na? You have done selection sort. The same logic you have to apply, but now instead of numbers, you have to apply the same logic to strings. Okay. So if let me, I have it. Yeah. So what do I do? If the order is somewhat not good, I will change it. I will swap it, right? That is what I do in selection sort. I swap the elements. Okay. So in this case, you make a less than comparison, or you might want to make a greater than comparison. It depends on the algorithm, whatever you're using. Okay. And then you will swap. See how you will swap. Swapping again means copying of strings. Now there will be strings. Now I will give you one example of this also, how to use selection sort on a list of words or list of names. Okay, that also I will do. So what you will do, instead of the same logic that you have to do, you have to swap on words. So for swapping on words, you cannot use equal to operator, right? Assignment operator cannot be used. So you have to make use of strcpy, string copy. So string compare, string copy, these are useful functions in many of the C programs that we have, many problem statements that we have. Okay. So sorting you can use definitely. For searching you can use string compare. Okay. Next is how do you read strings? So we have seen using scanf how to read strings, but for reading strings we use %s to remember, right? Scanf %s and the array name, string name. But what if I want a string with spaces? If I want my string with spaces, then in that case I can make use of what is known as a char set. Okay. So for using this char set, what do I do is, inside scanf, instead of using %s, I simply say % and into square brackets, I need to read an entire sentence, that is a sentence with spaces. Okay. That means I need to stop reading when I encounter the \n. When the user presses the enter key, I need to stop reading that entire sentence I want to read. So how do I do it? I say scanf % and into square brackets I say this character caret, okay, raised to or caret or whatever you want, whatever you call it, caret, this character, and you say that I want to read all characters except \n. I want to read all characters except \n. So when the moment the user enters or presses the enter key, reading will stop for scanf. Okay, so you have to say % into square bracket, whatever characters you want to read you can read, but whenever user enters \n, you have to stop. So this means everything except not, this is not actually everything but not a new line. Read any type of character but not a new line. Now what if I want to stop reading when user enters a number? I only want to read alphabets. Okay, if I only want to read alphabets, then what do? I simply say % A to Z. small a to z. Capital A to Z, I write something like this, both. You can read more about this, but you need to practice this. Okay, I'm just introducing it here, but you need to practice. What else you can do? Online, you will find a lot on this. Okay, but for now, we just need to use this variant. Which variant? This variant. Why? Because we want to read a string with, so suppose str is your string array, simply like this. Okay, you're not using %s. You have to use this char set for accepting the string. This is one way of using scanf to modify it to accept spaces, a string with spaces. Okay.
And second one will you read only small alphabet.
Read small alphabets and large capital alphabets. Okay. And if you want only small, then you just need A to Z, that range. Okay. So different ways to do it. And the other ways you have to find out, okay, as an exercise, what other things you can do, what other manipulations you can put inside the char set. You will find to find it and do it as an exercise. But what I'm going to use is this one. This one is very useful because this can be used for file handling as well. This one, \n. This one is very useful. Okay. The other way is to use fgetS. That's a function. It is in stdio.h. fgetS. Now there is one more function, getS, where you'll find this in many books also. But this is as of C11 standard, it has been removed actually because it was dangerous. It's dangerous, so it is removed. Now on your compiler, you have to see whether it works or no. But in the older compilers also, it was deprecated. That means it is to be, what is the meaning of deprecation? It's going to be removed in a future version. So as of C11 standard, it was removed.
Why it is dangerous?
It is dangerous because your program might crash. It allows you to read beyond what you have allocated. The memory that you have allocated. Now, suppose you are saying string char str of 50. Okay, or suppose you are saying 20. And suppose if you're using getS is a function. Okay, getS, it takes str as argument. That's it. ऐसे लिखना होता है. So if you use getS, suppose user is entering something like very long string, which exceeds the 20 characters. Okay, if user enters very long string, it is exceeding 20 characters. getS does not stop the user. It does not do anything about it. So because of that, the program might crash. So people removed it later on. They removed from the C standard getS. So instead of that there is one option. You can use fgetS. fgetS, we will come back to it when we are using when we are doing file handling, because fgetS was used mostly for files. fgetS. Okay. So you can also use strings, read strings using fgetS. fgetS is not dangerous like getS, because it will stop reading. You are specifying in fgetS, actually there are 3 arguments. You specify the size as well. Okay. So fgetS will revise when we come to files, but for now we will use method 1. For reading, we'll use char set only. So that char set, you get a hand on char set. Okay. And I have written a link here below reading for you why there is no getS. If you're interested to read in detail, you can read on this link. Okay. Why exactly they have explained why there's no getS, all the dangers they have explained. Okay. On this.
Ma'am, in the online compiler, when I had tried, it was showing me, it was running the program, but there was a warning thrown that it's a dangerous function.
Yeah. That is what. So if your compiler is not following C11 standard, na, it is still an older version like C99. C11 means C2011. 2011 ka standard hai. So if it is not following that, then it will still give you a warning. So it will give you a deprecation warning that it is dangerous. Okay. So I don't know whether if you're having the latest compiler on your machine, then in that case it will not allow you to use it.
The online GDB was showing that error. Warning, sorry, not error.
Warning, no? They have not
Yeah.
implemented it. They are still using C99 standard.
Oh, okay.
You
Thank
should
you.
not use it. That is what I'm saying. No? That is why I'm not using GetS in my program anywhere. Whenever I will do my program, I will not use GetS. What is not there, you should not use. Because later on, you will fall into trouble then. Okay. Next, we will move on to one example. Today, we'll discuss one example. Then in the next lecture, next week on Monday, we'll be discussing a few more examples. Okay. So let me share my screen again. So you can see this, right? So there are two questions which we have to do as part of the lab. Okay. One is, read the first one. You have to write a program to delete all repeated words in a string. Okay. So input is given to you. Welcome to example is given. In example input is welcome to programming class. Welcome again to C class. Output is welcome to C programming class again. Are you getting how the output is coming? Whatever words are repeated, you have to make sure they come once only. Okay.
Ma'am, so the order also has to be changed.
Order also has to remain same. So,
But in the output here, like C, which was coming later on, is coming in the beginning. So, like welcome to C programming class instead of welcome to programming class, and then C.
no, order has to remain same. Actually, C होना चाहिए था. Okay, let it be. It has to be C.
No, but if you put C, then it will get deleted. Put the C in the beginning and delete it again.
No. Delete all repeated words means the repetition you have to delete. Once it has to come.
Okay.
Ha. So welcome to C programming class. Welcome again to C class. Now it is correct. Order has to remain same. Now it is correct, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is one question, and the second question is you have to find and replace a particular word from the string. So the string is given to you. Okay. So actually you have to find, I don't know why, you have to find Canada and replace it by India. Okay. You have to take two words. First you have to take the string, then you have to take which word to find, and second is with which word you should replace it with. Okay. So I love India because India. So wherever there was a Canada, you are replacing it with India. So for both these programs, okay, there are different ways in which you can do it. Okay. There is a common way which I'll be using for both programs. Okay. So before we do these programs, what we will do is we will see how to tokenize these strings or these sentences into words. That means how to separate out, get the separate words from these strings. Okay. Now for getting the separate words, that means you want, all the tokens, in the form of an array. So if you recollect, I had mentioned about something that is nothing but a string array. An array of strings, right? What is a string array? It is a 2D array basically. Okay. So if it is a 2D array, so if I'm, for example, if I'm considering an array of words, okay, string array of words. So I have, since it's a 2D array, I have the row index, I have the column index. Okay. And how how do you have these words? So how many words? Suppose you are having 10 words. You want max 10 words in the array. So then the row count will be equal to 10. That means there are 10 words in my array. And the maximum size of the maximum length of each word is, say, 20 characters. So in that case, the column dimension will be 20. So if you want to represent this in the form of, you want to visualize this, it will be like this. These will be the words. Rows will be the words, right? These will be the words. So row number 0 will have the first word. Row number 1 will have the second word, third word, and so on. But each row actually is not a single character. It's an array of characters. It's a string. Each row is a string, right? So for that, so suppose my words are some animals. Okay, so the first word is a cat, say. Second word is a dog. Third word is a horse. Okay, and of course it's going on to 20. 0, 1, 2, whatever you have specified. We specified 20. So maximum length of the word will be 20. So my words will be saved like this. Okay, are you getting it? Each word, each row is a word. Okay, so if I want to deal with this thing, why I'm using this is because I have a sentence. That sentence I have to separate out into words. I want to split it out into words. Okay, so what I will do is, for each of these problems, my first step will be to separate out the string into words, and I will make sure that the words that are there are unique. That means I will not repeat the word again. So for example, what I will do is, welcome to C programming class, welcome again to C class. So how many words will I have now? What is there in the output? Okay, so welcome to C programming class. Okay, then comma again and this. Are you getting it? Now remember, just for simplicity, what we will do is, we will make sure that everything that we have, that will be separated, every word or every comma or everything, every punctuation that will be having will be separated by a space. There will be a space everywhere in between, just for simplicity. Okay, now the thing is, how many will you have? How many words will you have? Welcome to C programming class. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? 8 words in your array. The output.
Yes.
So first step will be converting the sentence into an array, into a string array of unique words in that order. So how will we do that? First we have to think of that logic. How will we do this? Also, we'll do one more thing. We will also keep a count of the number of words. We will say how many times welcome had come in the sentence, how many times C has come in the sentence, 2 has come in the sentence, and so on. Okay. This is our goal. So how will we proceed with this? Everyone has understood the concept, how it is saved?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So if now one more thing I want to tell you is, if I want to refer to this word, how will I refer to it? I will use only the row number to refer to the entire word. This is important. When I say words of 2, it means I am referring to this word entirely. It will give me this string. Words of 2 will return this string. Now words of 2 returns this string. That means I can compare this string with a horse using string compare. I can write, is string compare is equal to 0? Print yes. Okay. Remember, when I write only the row index, words of 0, words of 1, words of 2, it means I'm getting the entire string out of this, entire word out of that string array of strings. Okay, one particular word I'm referring to from the array of strings. If I want to refer to individual letters, then I need to use both the indices. That is, I need to use 0. For example, if I want to refer to this particular letter, I want to extract this particular letter, this particular character, then what do? I need to write words of 1, 2.
1, 2.
Are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So first step is in the problem, we have to unique words, right? From the original sentence. Okay. So what will be the procedure for this? Let us try to do it. Can I initially start with something like, let us take the sentence, welcome. I'm just shortening it. Okay. This is my string, right? How will I read it? I can make use of char set, the char set that I've used, because it is having spaces. Okay. Now, the thing is, first of all, I need to traverse this string, and I need to stop when I finish a word. So when do I understand when I finish a word, when I'm done with a word?
Blank
I need to
space.
stop at when space is encountered. Very good. Yeah. So I need to keep on traversing. I look at this character, it's not a space. I look at this character, it's not a space. I keep on continuing till I encounter this space. Till I encounter this space, I keep on looking at the characters, and I keep on keeping my word, saving my word, my character somewhere. Okay. Once I do that, I can stop. Okay. Now, this word that I've got, this word welcome. Welcome is the word which I get. How am I going to iterate through? So suppose I have an iterator I. So I is equal to, it's going to start from, I is going to start from this 0, right? 0. This is the index. 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. When do I stop? At whenever I encounter space. Okay. Now, this word that I get, I should save it in my words array. Okay. So first of all, I need to have my words array, maybe the same array which I have declared earlier, words of, maybe I'm looking at 20 words and each word is having 30 characters. Okay. Into words, I need to keep on copying character by character. So first of all, I'm going to copy in which words index? In the 0th index. Right. First word I have to copy, right? First word will go here. Welcome will go as the first word inside words. So words of 0 will be W. That is what I'm trying to say. Words of 0 of 1 will be E. Are you getting it? Words of 0 of 2 will be L. This is what I need to do. I need to copy this, right? Okay. And up till E, dot, 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 up till whatever the length is for E. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, what do I need to do? The moment I get a space, I stop. I stop this copying because my word is complete. My welcome is done. My first word is done with, right? I do not need to copy the space, only the word. After this, what do I do?
Increment the 0.
What do I do?
Increment the first bracket.
Hello?
0 to 1.
Hello?
Ma'am is telling to increment the first bracket from 0 to 1.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
second word I need to copy, right? After this, I need to just jump to the next character. My pointer is here. My I has become 7 and I have stopped. Yes or no? This is my 7, index number 7, right? 4, 5, 6, wait, 0, 1, I have skipped it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6, right? Oh God. Ah, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now I is at 7, and because that 7th character is a space, I have stopped. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I just need to run the loop till I encounter space. Okay. Now I is at that space character, but now at from the next onward, that is T, I need to copy in the next location. Next location of that is words of 1 पे copy करना है ना. So अभी मेरी what does my words become now? If I look at the words, different color. Words of 0 में है welcome. Okay. This is words. And this is my string, str. Okay. Actually, whatever we have written here, I have just shown the example, but it is str of I लिखना है. str of I and then I++. ऐसे करना है. Yes or no? On the right hand side, that character that I have written, it's str of I, and then every time you will do an I++, so that you get the next character, then the next character, and so on. Okay. Now, the second word, that is 2, I need here, right? So after this point, what do I need to do? This row index was 0. Now it will become 1. Row index has to be incremented by 1. And the column index should again start from 0. For words, column index, it should start copying from here, na, this point. So words of 1, 0 should be equal to T. Are you getting it? Words of 1, 1 has to be equal to O. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the logic. Now, one more thing we have forgotten here is we have forgotten to add a \0 after each word, because each word is a string. Remember, it's not a simple array of characters, it's a string. Welcome is a string. In order to use string compare all the string library functions, the last character of the word should be a \0. Remember, it has to be a \0. So welcome के last character होगा \0. So what change do I need to make here? Here at this point, after I copy the last character, I simply need to say words of 0, 7 is equal to \0. Okay. So after every word that I'm copying, I need to write that \0 वाला statement. Now tell me, everyone has understood the logic. ऐसे करना है हमको split. स्पेस मिली तो स्टॉप करना है, स्पेस मिली तो स्टॉप करना है, काउंटर इंक्रीमेंट करना है, फिर थर्ड वर्ड जाएगा, इसके बाद स्पेस मिलेगी फिर से. आफ्टर दिस, आफ्टर 2 अगेन यू विल गेट अ स्पेस, राइट? आई विल कम हियर, व्हाटएवर इट इज, 8, 9, 10, यू विल गेट अ स्पेस. नाउ यू विल गो फॉर द थर्ड वर्ड. ऐसे करना है. दिस इज फॉर जस्ट फॉर आई एम जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट सेपरेटिंग आउट द वर्ड्स. आई हैव नॉट टॉक्ड अबाउट एनीथिंग अबाउट यूनिकनेस सो फार. ओके, सो फॉर दिस, tell me what should be the logic. There'll be one loop. It is difficult, I know. There'll be one loop.
2 for loops.
Hello.
Okay, 2 for loops or while loops, whatever it is. So for I is equal to 0, let us write this is the row loop. So let me use R. Is it okay? For r is equal to, okay, sorry. For this is the I index. Just let us remember. I is for the string. I'm using index. I'll tell you which which variables I'm using. I am going to use for the string, the original sentence. Okay. R I'm going to use for the row of words. Okay. R and C I'm going to use for words. Are you getting it?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
for I is equal to 0, when do I stop? Till I reach the \0, right? str of I is not equal to \0, I plus plus. Okay. Let me write it for now like this. What do I do here is, I need to write one loop here, right? So words of, so initially my row is, before I enter the loop, my row count is 0. Column count has to start from, okay, let me see. C is equal to 0 if I write here. Now in this case, what do I need to do is, words of R, C is equal to str of I. Okay. Now C, also let me write it before this. C is equal to 0. Because otherwise what will happen? C will be reinitialized every time this loop is done. Now once I do this, what do I need to write? What else do I need to take care of? When do I need to break it? This copying, when I encounter the space, right? So I can make use of an if here. When I encounter the first space, the space I need to stop copying, right? If str of I not equal to space, then only I will copy. Okay. And once I do that copy, I will do a C++ here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So now what will happen after this? Once I write this,
Ma'am, after string I not equal, there is a space, and in inverted comma it is
single space bar key.
single.
In inverted comma, single inverted comma. Okay. So then
Else
what?
Add a \0.
Okay. So else I say words of
RC
RC should be
equal to \0.
0, and I say R plus plus. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So if I write this, I will get all the words. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now let us modify this to get unique words.
Ma'am, after incrementing the row, we need to assign column to 0 once again.
Very good. Because otherwise your column will go haywire. Correct.
Ma'am, is it overwriting the string
Which string is it overwriting?
str array?
No. You are not making, what is on the left hand side, it is always words. You're copying into words.
Yes, ma'am. Got it.
Okay. Now this is for getting the words out. Will this logic work correctly? I should have typed it only. Quickly, I'll type it out. Okay, so I have IRC, and then I have words of 2030, and I have my string of say 200 characters. It's a long sentence maybe. Okay, and then for then my for loop will be there for I is equal to 0. I'll read the string first. Just a minute. I is less than str of I is not equal to backslash 0 I plus plus if str of I not equal to space, then words of R, okay, R and C is 0. C is equal to str of I, and just give me 2 minutes. I'll type it. We will stop the discussion once we get the output for this. Okay, next time we'll continue with this. I just want you to think about how to modify this program to get unique words. That means a count of unique words. Or the unique words, whatever you want. How will you modify it? R++, C++. Okay. Now before this, I say I need to read now. So printf enter a string. Okay. And then I say now I'll use the char set for practice. Okay. And then I say str. I'm reading my string into str, and then words I'm going to find out the words. And then after this, I just want to see whether my words are printed or not. So I mean they're correctly there or not. So what will I do? I'll simply run a loop, right? For I is equal to 0, I is less than R, right? R is the number of words. R will have the number of words, right?
Yes.
Printf on a new line, I'll just print it out. %s words of I. Okay. Did I miss out anything? Okay. GCC. What is that? Words. Okay. So what is happening? Welcome to C. What about programming?
Equal sign was missing. I think.
Equals?
Equal sign should be there. No? I less than equal to R.
Ma'am, rows should also be
Hmm?
assigned. No, sorry.
Rows should also be assigned?
No, sorry.
Okay. So what is happening is, well, oh, I wrote only welcome to C. So one character कुछ problem हो रहा है, something is happening.
Ma'am, I think it should not be less than equal to R. It should be less than R. But during input, we have to add a space at the last index, so that it will consider that the word is ended. Last word is ended.
So for the
Or we
last
cannot.
word, this is giving a problem, no? Last word it is
Yeah.
giving a problem.
We can add a space, or we can change the condition, like if it is also /0, then the word is ended.
Here you are saying. Here.
Yes, ma'am. We should add that if it is also /0, then the word is ended. Right?
No, 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 no.
It is not equal to /0. Sorry. Then it we
str
will
of I
continue.
is not equal to /0. This is what you mean?
Yes, ma'am.
No, shouldn't it be or instead of and?
If str of I is not equal to space, or str of I is not equal to /0, then you keep on doing this. Otherwise, if it is a /0, that means what will happen is after the last word that we have now, that is prog, this word prog, there's a /0 at the end, right? So what happens is prog, it has copied, but that /0 it is not taking care of. Now it goes to the else part. Okay, and that is why it is giving a problem, because of the /0.
And ma'am, yes,
Now
it should be and, not or.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
and yes, because it is not na wo not hai, agar not nahi hota, are you getting it? And or, understand the difference. This is not equal to conditions there, so it has to be an and. This has to be less than equal to only. No, now it is coming something else. Wait. It is, but what is happening is because of the last character only, because it is not able to identify that.
Now you might have to take a separate if for /0 so that you can break the loop.
If str of I is not equal to space, then it's copying. So program, it will copy, and then when it gets the /0,
Yes, ma'am. If it is,
it
if
comes
it
out.
gets,
Yeah, I got it. The thing is, here I need to say words of R C is equal to a /0, right? The last character, I mean the program, na, it is not terminated. See, what happens is that, see, here prog, it has reached. Where do I show it? Whatever it is. Okay. Let me run it again once. Let me see. The last character that is there, na, it is not going inside. Na, when it goes after prog, the last character is a /0, so it comes out of the loop. Na, the for loop, it comes out of the loop. Are you getting it? No, you're not getting it. Okay.
Or ma'am, why don't we just explicitly add another blank space at the end of the string? We can explicitly add another blank space at the end of the string.
No. See, what is happening actually is, I just want to explain it like this. welcome to C programming was our string. Okay. तो welcome ले लिया, हो गया. यहाँ पे भी गया. This is also done. Now I comes here. So at this point, what has happened at location? This is my words array. Okay. Welcome is copied. Welcome हो गया copy. 1 पे 2 हो गया. 3 पे C हो गया. Okay. At this point, what happens is, at this point, you have copied PROG and now I has come to \0. PROG copy हो गया. Okay. So, so once it comes to \0, what are you doing? You are breaking out of the loop. See, look at this point. You're breaking out, na? Once your I becomes \0, it comes out of the loop. So, have you added the \0 for the last string? No, you have not added. Welcome to C programming. You have not added the \0. That is why it was throwing a garbage character there. Are you getting it? वो program के आगे कुछ और ही डाल रहा है ना? It is throwing some rubbish there. Because you forgot to end the string with \0 at the end. So you have to take care of that. Are you getting? The last string you're not putting the \0. Okay, so this condition is not required. This condition is not required here. Last character. See, after G. Are you getting? Look at this. Look at the screen. See, after G, you have copied PROG successfully to this RF location, this row. 0, 1, 2, 3. So where it is going? It is always going to the if part, because for P it was not a space, for R it was not a space, for O it was not a space, for G it was not a space. Correct? So it is always going to the if part. So C is getting incremented, but R has not changed. R is on the same row. Now what is happening is the character encountered by I is a \0. This character is a \0. So because of that, the for loop will stop running, yes or no? It will come out. So what you have done everything. One thing is remaining is adding of \0 to the last location. Once you do this, then how many words are there? R words are there. Okay. So I mean, R, it's not R words, R plus 1 words are there. So your loop should run from 0 to R. So 0 to less than equal to R is correct. Okay. And then you're printing out the words.
Okay, ma'am. For that last sentence, words RC is equal to \0, you put for the last case only, because it was coming out.
Only. Yes. Now you have understood, I hope. So I'll pass on this program to you. एक बार run करके देख लो ये. हाँ?
मैम वो \0 कहाँ ऐड किया प्रोग्राम में?
Now it is running. हाँ. ये जो welcome to C programming I told you ना, ये जो हर एक वर्ड के आगे \0 हम लगा रहे हैं ना यहाँ पे, it is going to the else part always for all the words except for the last word, because for the last word it has just come out of the loop na, so there's no scope to go inside. At \0 it's directly coming out of the loop, so that \0 for the last word is remaining. For all words you have put, but for the last word it is remaining. So that is why that it is not able to, when you're printing out the words, na, that %s is not able to identify it as a string correctly. So it's printing garbage. उसको जब तक कि वो 0 character garbage में नहीं मिलेगा, वो print करते रहेगा जो भी garbage है. Remember last time also I had shown one thing, it was printing garbage till it got a 0 somewhere in the garbage. Because the ASCII value of \0 is a 0. समझा? You go through this. You will have to go through this once. I'll send the program to you. Just go through this.
Ma'am? But when the user enters the string, shouldn't the compiler automatically put a \0 at the end of whatever the user has entered?
Compiler has put, na? For see what has the user entered? This is the string which the user has entered. Welcome to C programming. This prog. This I had entered, right? Compiler has put. So while running only, it has encountered this \0 na. ये for loop run हो रहा है ना आपका. This for loop is running. This for loop is running. I is incrementing, and finally it is encountering \0. That is why it is coming out of the loop, and because of which you as a programmer could not put the \0 in this word after this word. For all the other words you could put na, because it went inside every time. Else में गया ना, space था या तो नहीं था. Space जैसे ही मिला, you put it. You put the backslash zero. Yes or no? The moment you got a space, you put a backslash zero na instead of space. That was your logic.
Yes.
But for the last word, it could not go only inside. Na, after G is encountered, what is encountered? Backslash zero is encountered. And because backslash zero is encountered, the for loop terminates. It does not run. Since it comes out of, so for the last particular word, you have to add backslash zero manually at the end of the loop. This is only for the last word.
So ma'am, we can also do it like that, that when the user enters a string, we can we can concatenate it with a blank space at the end.
Yeah, that can also be done. Yes, it can be done. But you have to use string cat for that then.
Yeah.
You will have to use a string cat function for that. I didn't want to go for that as of now. If you use that, then again you will have to change the string. The string will return a new string. So it will concatenate to the old string only, that space. Okay. And then you can avoid this last one. Then this will not be there. This statement is only there because your loop is exiting. Dekho, I'll send this program to you. Just go through it. Try to understand it on your own. Try different variants. You try your own logic. You can try your own logic also. Okay. So now we should stop because it's 1:30 already.
Just one more thing.
Yes.
Scanf, you have written percent bracket. I didn't understand.
Yes. Yeah. So
what specifier?
I told you na, whenever your string is having spaces, when your string is containing spaces, you cannot read it using %s. If you use %s, it will stop the moment the first space is encountered.
Okay.
Okay. So when you put when you want to take spaces also in your string, then you make use of char set. So for char set, what you do is % into square brackets, not, this is the not caret character, not hat, this hat character, \n. That means read all characters except \n.
Okay.
The moment user enters enter key, presses enter key, it will stop reading.
Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am, why are we running it to less than equal to R?
Because you are here na, you are at the rth word where you were programming na. यहाँ पे R यहाँ पे है currently. Last word कहाँ है? R है. R plus plus हुआ ही नहीं ना, else part में गया ही नहीं ना. See, else part में गया ही नहीं. Last word के लिए it will not go to the else part because it has encountered \0. समझा आपको? \0 आ गया ना, तो else part में गया ही नहीं ना, तो R plus plus कैसे होगा? Are you getting it? You are at R only when your loop has terminated. You are at the rth location. Rth location. See na, 0, 1, 2, 3. At location 3, you add PROG and then you encounter a \0 in the original string. In this string, see, this particular string. ये string पे, यहाँ पे you encounter, your I has become \0 here. And because of this, you are not going inside the loop. Na? You're not going inside the loop. You're not able to go inside the loop because your str of I is a \0. And since you do not go inside the loop, you cannot go to the else part. Okay. Even if I write that other condition, I cannot go to the else part. And because I cannot go to the else part, my R has not incremented. I am on the same word. I am on the same row. R यहाँ पे ही है. R is this value. That is why your loop should run. Your for loop should run from 0 to R, na? Look at this. What is R? R value is 3. So it should run for which? How many times the for loop should run? 4 times, na? For 0, 1, 2, 3. Because R plus plus किया ही नहीं मैंने. देखो इसमें मैंने R plus plus किया ही नहीं. Here I have not reached only. It's a little difficult to understand, but you'll have to go through it. Fine?
Ma'am, hello.
Yes.
मैम मैं ATRX का हूँ और संडे को जो टेस्ट था ना वो 6 मार्क्स के वो मैं अटेंड नहीं कर पाया था, तो अभी कुछ ऑप्शन है क्या कि मैं मतलब
What
आप
is the
शेड्यूल कर
reason you
सकते
could
हो?
not attend?
मैम मैंने आपको मेल भी किया था, वो मेरे
Okay.
नेबर पॉजिटिव आए थे, तो फिर BMC ने हमें भी टेस्ट